In recent years, public awareness of gut health has surged as scientific research highlights the vital role the microbiome plays in human well-being. This ecosystem of trillions of microorganisms impacts digestion, immunity, metabolism, and even mental health. However, despite this expanding body of knowledge, modern food safety regulations still fail to account for the impacts of certain common food additives, such as emulsifiers, on gut microbes. These additives, used to blend ingredients and maintain a consistent texture, may be wreaking havoc on our microbiome and contributing to a host of chronic health conditions. A growing body of research has raised alarms about the potential consequences of synthetic emulsifiers, a category of additives found in a wide range of processed foods, from ice cream to salad dressings. These studies reveal that emulsifiers can disrupt the gut's protective mucus layer, alter the balance of beneficial bacteria, and increase permeability in the intestinal lining. With mounting evidence pointing to these additives as a possible source of inflammation and metabolic disturbances, some researchers are calling for a reevaluation of how food additives are regulated and assessed for safety. Traditionally, food safety assessments focus on direct toxic effects on human cells and tissues, with less regard for the complex, symbiotic relationship between our bodies and the microbial life residing within us. Until recently, the gut microbiome's health was largely overlooked in these assessments, as additives were primarily tested for their direct effects on the human body. However, mounting evidence shows that the effects of additives on gut microbes could indirectly influence human health, potentially contributing to inflammation, disease, and mental health challenges. Emulsifiers are particularly notable in this respect, as they are designed to prevent ingredients from separating, creating the smooth textures that consumers expect in products such as sauces, ice creams, and breads. Unfortunately, these additives may also disrupt the gut's microbiome by helping harmful bacteria breach the protective mucus lining, an essential barrier between gut microbes and the intestinal wall. The gut lining serves as the body's first line of defense, blocking pathogens from entering the bloodstream. When this barrier is compromised, gut bacteria can penetrate deeper into tissues, potentially leading to systemic inflammation, immune responses, and metabolic dysregulation. The implications of this disruption are profound. Research has demonstrated that when harmful bacteria are able to reach the bloodstream, they release toxins that can trigger chronic inflammation, which in turn contributes to metabolic disorders such as obesity, diabetes, and even cardiovascular disease. As the mucus layer is degraded and the gut lining becomes more permeable, a phenomenon often referred to as leaky gut, the body's vulnerability to pathogens increases, potentially setting off a cascade of health issues. The effects of synthetic emulsifiers on gut health are far-reaching, extending beyond digestion to influence metabolic and neurological health. Scientific studies have linked the consumption of certain emulsifiers to elevated blood sugar levels, insulin resistance, and other markers of metabolic dysfunction. While these findings stem from animal studies, they bear troubling implications for human health, suggesting that emulsifiers could play a role in the rise of metabolic disorders and insulin resistance. Further complicating the picture, recent research suggests that these additives could impact the brain through what is known as the gut-brain axis, a bidirectional communication network between the gut and the brain. The gut-brain axis has been linked to mental health and cognitive function, and disturbances in the gut have been associated with conditions ranging from depression to neurodegenerative diseases. Studies on animals have found that emulsifiers may weaken the blood-brain barrier, allowing toxins to accumulate in brain tissue, which could ultimately contribute to cognitive decline. This adds another layer of concern, as scientists have shown that an imbalanced or dysbiotic gut microbiome can influence mood, stress responses, and behavior, exacerbating mental health challenges. Despite these alarming findings, much of the research on emulsifiers has been conducted in animal models, such as mice, which may not always directly translate to humans. The complexity of human biology, coupled with the influence of lifestyle and environmental factors, makes it challenging to draw definitive conclusions. Nevertheless, studies involving human participants are beginning to yield similar findings, especially when considering the impacts of stress. In a recent study, researchers observed that people under high stress who consumed synthetic emulsifiers exhibited symptoms of increased gut permeability, resembling the leaky gut effect observed in animal studies. This association between stress, gut health, and synthetic emulsifiers is particularly troubling, as it suggests that lifestyle factors may amplify the adverse effects of these additives. When the gut lining becomes more permeable under stress, emulsifiers may further weaken the gut's defenses, creating a vicious cycle. Increased permeability allows harmful substances to enter the bloodstream, potentially increasing inflammation and anxiety, which in turn further disrupt gut health. This cyclical relationship highlights the importance of a balanced, resilient microbiome for managing stress and maintaining mental well-being. While synthetic emulsifiers such as polysorbate 80 and carboxymethylcellulose appear to be particularly harmful, not all emulsifiers pose the same level of risk. Emulsifiers with a long history in human diets, such as lecithin, found naturally in eggs and sunflowers, are less likely to disrupt the microbiome. These natural emulsifiers may be better tolerated by the body, possibly due to our evolutionary adaptation to them. In contrast, synthetic emulsifiers are relatively new additions to the human diet, and our gut bacteria may not be well equipped to handle them, leading to dysbiosis or an imbalance in the gut microbial community. This distinction between natural and synthetic emulsifiers suggests that food manufacturers might consider switching to natural alternatives where possible. Lecithin, for example, could be used in many applications currently dominated by synthetic emulsifiers, potentially reducing the negative impact on gut health. However, cost and production constraints make synthetic additives appealing, as they are often cheaper and more stable. Nonetheless, as consumer awareness grows, the demand for products free from synthetic emulsifiers may drive a shift toward cleaner, more microbiome-friendly formulations. The growing evidence linking emulsifiers to gut dysbiosis and systemic inflammation calls for a reevaluation of food safety standards. Historically, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, and other regulatory agencies have approved food additives based on their direct effects on human cells, often overlooking their interactions with the microbiome. As our understanding of the microbiome's significance deepens, there is a compelling case for revising safety evaluations to include studies on gut microbes. Incorporating microbiome testing into food safety assessments would represent a significant step forward. Such tests would evaluate how additives impact the diversity and balance of gut bacteria, helping to identify ingredients that may inadvertently harm the microbiome. In the case of emulsifiers, such testing could differentiate between those that are benign and those that disrupt microbial health, providing consumers with a clearer picture of what they are putting into their bodies. In addition to regulatory changes, consumer behavior also plays a pivotal role in shaping industry practices. With a growing preference for minimally processed foods, consumers are increasingly seeking products free from synthetic additives. By opting for whole foods rich in natural fibers and avoiding heavily processed products, consumers can support their gut health and reduce the risk of exposure to harmful emulsifiers. Fermented foods, for instance, offer both probiotics and prebiotics, nourishing the microbiome and potentially mitigating some of the negative effects of a modern diet. Ultimately, the conversation about emulsifiers underscores a larger shift in how we approach food and health. As we learn more about the microbiome's central role in regulating inflammation, immunity, and mental health, it becomes clear that food is not merely fuel. It is a key determinant of our microbial and metabolic balance. To support a healthy gut, a diet rich in fiber, fermented foods, and nutrient-dense whole foods is essential. By fostering a diverse and balanced microbiome, we can enhance resilience against stress, reduce inflammation, and promote long-term health. The emerging research on emulsifiers highlights a hidden cost of convenience and shelf stability in processed foods. These additives, while safe by conventional standards, may carry unforeseen risks when viewed through the lens of microbiome science. As scientists continue to investigate the complex interactions between diet, microbiota, and health, one message rings clear. The future of food safety may lie in protecting not just the consumer, but also the microscopic ecosystem within. In this era of microbiome discovery, the food industry faces a crucial decision: adapt and embrace a new model of food safety that includes microbial health or risk falling behind as consumers demand greater transparency and healthier alternatives. For individuals, the choice may be as simple as reading labels, choosing natural ingredients, and opting for whole foods. Together, these shifts could lead to a world where the health of the microbiome is as important as the health of the individual, fostering a deeper understanding of how our food choices impact our bodies on the smallest of scales. Thanks for tuning in to this deep dive into the hidden effects of food additives, especially emulsifiers, on our gut health. If you found this information helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more content about health, wellness, and the science behind what we eat. Remember, your microbiome plays a huge role in your overall health, and small changes in your diet can make a big difference. See you in the next video.